Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another recording of a trade that I made today. Not a big one. Again, wasn't able to do a whole lot of trading this morning, and these markets have just been really weird, very up and down, and I'm just getting back into trading after being away from doing any sort of day trading for probably a couple of years now. So I'm getting used to the E-Trade platform. I had used a different version of this where I'd lived before. So it does take a while just to understand the intricacies of these trading platforms and how they work. And I'll explain shortly how I made an error today that did cost me a little bit of profit. So the stock I was on this morning, I have a list of gapping stocks that I'll scroll through as the morning progresses. So this was a gap play, obviously. ARRS, ARRS Group Inc. I like to call it ARRS. And let me just show you what the daily chart looked like. So this stock obviously has an upward tendency over the last several months, and recently it's been hitting this level of resistance up around the 914, 912 mark, somewhere in there. You can see where these bars had come up, touched it, and couldn't quite break through it. So this is the gapping bar that we had today, and let me just go back to the 5-minute bar so we can get a better look at what we're dealing with. So here's where it had gapped up over yesterday. Not a wide-ranging stock by any means. You've got a high of $9, low down here. Let's call it $8.29. So a 70-cent range on this one. Not real big. So I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of this. Just wanted to take some quick profit. If it wanted to run up and continue for the day, I certainly would have let it. But this market just hasn't been allowing me to do that. It goes up for a bit, it comes down for a bit, and it'll shake you out sometimes when you do put those stops in and try to let one run for the day. So let me just zoom in here on today, get a better look at what we're dealing with. So again, obviously a gap play, a lot of different ways to play a gap, and in this instance, as you can see, the first candle came down to that level of support that I had pointed out on the daily chart, came off that and had a 30-cent range on this first candle. The second candle, and what I was looking at here, was the fact that it was fully engulfed by the first one. So you've got about a 15-cent range on the second candle. So if I'm going to buy this as it breaks out the top, I'm going to set a stop below this. I could even go below the first bar of the day. I believe the first stop I had put in was just below that second bar, so it doesn't really matter. It was never challenged. The high on this second bar was 931. The market was moving up at this point. Let me just pull over the Dow so you can see what that chart looked like. We'd had this big drop off in the first 5 minutes, and then it was starting up as well. So this is what I was looking at out of the corner of my eye on my second screen, and thought it would be a good idea to get in on this one before it actually did break out and continue up vigorously, and it might miss my my price. So I picked it up at 928, and it continued up obviously to 960. So originally when I placed my order, I had meant to put an order for 1,000 shares in, and the Power E-Trade Pro platform, when you place that order using this window with market depth, etc., if I have 1,000 in here as the quantity, when I go to adjust my price by clicking on any one of these, it defaults it back to 500. So I had done that. I forgot to change this back to 1,000, and like I say, I kind of got taken from a little bit of profit taken from me. So I got out of the first, what I thought the first 500 was, up at the 950 mark. So I gave myself 22 cents profit, which I'm assuming on 500 shares isn't too bad. It covers my commission, gives me some profit, and allows me to move up my stop. So when I went to place my order for my extra 500 shares at the stop level of 928 where I had bought that, it told me I didn't have any more shares left. So a bit of an error on my part. It cost me some profit, but in looking at this chart, this candle, just depending where I had have put that stop, it could have clipped me. It could have taken me out of the trade on that extra 500, but I'm assuming I would have put it in at the point where I bought this at 928, and it actually missed that. So it just followed the moving average up and went back to the 960 mark. And I'm hoping that what I would have done as I saw this come back through this moving average, I might have liquidated the rest of that around the 947, 48 mark, somewhere in there, and profited on that extra 500 as well. So not a huge trade. Again, I wasn't expecting a lot from it, but it is an example of a gap play and something you can look for when you're doing your own trading. So I hope you found that useful. Again, I invite folks to leave comments. I look forward to hearing from people and what they think about the videos that I'm putting out there. If they've got any recommendations or suggestions, I would love to hear them. So thanks again, and have yourself a great day.